If you're just joining me here for the first time, my name is Oto Tom. I am a Nigerian lawyer with a passion for adventure travel. So I work full time and I'm also a travel blogger. Because I work full time, people do ask me how I'm able to travel as much as I do. People either assume that maybe I am paid to travel, or maybe I have an African prince who actually funds my travels. None of that is true. I am able to travel as much as I do because I make travel my priority. As simple as that may sound, you might meet, I've talked to people who spend more money on things that I consider mundane, and then still say they do not have money to travel the world, or they do not have sufficient funds to travel the world. But because travel is top on my priority, then travel is what I would make sacrifices for. Like, I would sacrifice maybe living in a choice area in the city just so I can afford to travel. Let's say I give myself 10 years to be able to explore the places that I do want to go. I would make sacrifices by maybe not changing my car, maybe driving the same car for maybe that number of years, or maybe living in the same apartment for that number of years, so that I can spend my money and apply it towards travel. Now, when I live that way, then it looks as if perhaps I have more than the average person because I'm spending my money on travel. But if travel is your priority, then you would understand that just as you spend money on the things that you value, I in turn spend money on travel because it is important to me. So it means that if I'm feeding my travel, there is an aspect of my life that is suffering. And so I do not have an African prince that pays for my travel. I pay for my travel from my earnings, and then because I make it a priority, I'm able to forfeit other things to be able to live my travel dreams. Now, how am I able to travel the world while I work full time? We often hear people say, quit your job and travel the world, or fire your boss and travel the world. Well, that isn't my story because I love my job. I love my job, and I also love to travel. So now, how can I make that happen? How can I love my job, love travel, and make that happen? It's about maximizing the time that I have. The truth is that I do not have the time to travel as much as I would love to. So because I know that I don't have the time to travel as much as I want, and travel is a priority to me, I usually maximize the time that I have, and then I travel different. I'm going to share useful tips on how you can travel the world even when you work full time. Now, what is the first thing that I do? I would advise that you take advantage of weekends and public holidays. What I do is that at the start of the year, I go through the calendar for the year, and then I identify the public holidays that we have in the year. Now, once I do that, I plan my small trips around these holidays to include the weekends, so I can have more time to travel and experience my destination. Most times you would find that some of those holidays you might have like 2 days. For example, you have the Easter holiday, which would give you, let's say, Good Friday and Easter Monday. What that means is if I'm traveling somewhere, I can decide, okay, I want to take 2 days off my annual leave. And let's say I decide to travel from Wednesday, and I decide to travel to a destination where I know that I can spend like 5 days. So I will start traveling on Wednesday, and then I would return on Monday. So if I start traveling by Wednesday, I would have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a total of 6 days to travel. And so I would plan my small trips around those holidays in order to maximize my trip. Taking advantage of weekends and public holidays is one of the ways that you can maximize your travels. Splitting your annual leave across the year is another way that you can maximize your travel. Instead of maybe just, oh, I'm going to travel for summer, and then you just travel only in August and then spend 1 month and then come back. If I were to spend 1 month in one destination, I would be bored. Let's say, for example, you're entitled to, let's say, 5 weeks or 4 weeks, in a year. Instead of taking all 4 weeks, take your holiday at once, you can actually split it. If your job allows you to split it, a maximum of 2 to 3, do that. What that means is, let's say you choose to travel in April. You can take 1 week in April, 2 weeks in August, and the remaining in December or November or October. And then you would be able to plan your trip. You would plan your trip in April, you travel in April, you travel in August, and then you travel again in December. So if your job allows you to split your annual leave across the year so that you would be traveling, instead of traveling at once, you would split it and travel, multiple times. There's an article on the blog that can help you maximize your annual leave. I would include a link to the article in the description box so you can actually click on it and then read and find out how you can actually maximize your annual leave. Another thing you want to do is don't just visit one destination, visit more destinations. Most people don't know that they can book a single ticket with a stop in a second destination at no significant cost. Now, what do I mean? Let's say I'm going to London and then I have decided to use Emirates Airlines. We all know Emirates would take you first to Dubai before connecting London. And so let's say I buy my ticket to go to London, but then I include a 4-day stop in Dubai. And then while I get to Dubai, I explore Dubai. I go to Abu Dhabi for 1 day or 2 days. I come back to Dubai on the 3rd or 4th day and I connect my flight to London. So let's say while in London, I decide, okay, I'm going to buy another ticket and then I'll take a trip to Ireland, Dublin. Now, you would realize that at the end of that trip, just by booking an Emirates ticket to London, I explored multiple destinations. It's very simple. I plot the graph just before my trip. I decide, okay, I do want to go, my final destination is XYZ. And then I ask myself, what are the possibilities of visiting other destinations on this same ticket? And even if I can't go on that same ticket, how cheap or how economical is it going to be for me to purchase another ticket and travel from my final destination? That's how you do it. I've had to book a flight ticket to Dubai with my best friend. We were going to, my final destination was London, but she was going to Dubai and back. And the difference between our tickets was not significant. It was barely $200. It wasn't a significant difference in how much she paid for just going to Dubai and back to Lagos, and then how much I paid for a ticket to London on the same airline, but including a 4-day stop in Dubai. So you do want to maximize your trip by visiting more destinations, when you travel. When I want to visit those destinations, I always consider my options and then go with the option that would allow me explore the stopover city for a few days before I get to my final destination. So that's how I get to travel as much as I do. I look for every window of opportunity to travel, and then I travel different. When I travel, I do not explore just one destination. I visit more destinations, and then, like I tell you, when I travel most times and I arrive at my destination, I hit the ground running. Thank you for watching today. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos like this. And then you can also like this video and support me so that I can keep making videos like this. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope that I have inspired you to travel more. Thank you very much.